You can draw this, and I'm gonna teach you how. And the best thing? It's easy. All you need to be able to draw is one single shape. Don't worry if your cupcakes look like this right now. In less than 10 minutes, they're gonna look like this. And I'll also teach you how to customize your own drawing with different faces. So let's go. Hello there, my creative friends. I'm Nessbert, your friendly neighborhood lake monster and your art guide for today. It doesn't matter whether you're a kid, a grown-up, or a mysterious artistic being from the deep like me, today's tutorial is for everyone. And I think we can all agree on one thing. Cupcakes are amazing. Cherry flavor. But I do have one tiny complaint. Why just one cherry? Who decided that? If I were in charge, every cupcake would have at least a dozen cherries. But hey, that's the great thing about drawing. We get to decide. So today, if you want your cupcake covered in cherries, go for it. But enough about my passionate cupcake opinions. Let's get to drawing, shall we? Here's what we'll need today. A piece of paper, of course. A pencil and an eraser to sketch out our favorite cupcake before we commit to the final lines. A fine liner or a small marker for making those outlines nice and crisp. And some colors. I'll be using alcohol markers today, but you can use anything. Regular markers, colored pencils, crayons, or even mashed up berries. Disclaimer, mashed up berries might make your art delicious, but also very sticky. Now, as you might have noticed, I have a small problem. No hands. Tragic, I know, but fear not, my artistic adventurers. I've brought in a special guest to handle the drawing part while I cheer you on. So, take it away. We start with our pencil and draw a rectangle. It should be a little taller than it's wide. This will help us get the proportions right. Next up, we split the rectangle into two parts vertically by drawing a line across, a little lower than the middle. Remember when I mentioned at the beginning that we only really need one shape to draw our cupcake? Yeah, that's correct. We need an arc. So let's draw our first one down here. Yeah, that looks good. Then we draw two diagonal lines upwards to our dividing line from both ends of the arc. From here on out, it's only arcs. The next one is up here in the middle. Then we draw one on each side, gently touching the middle one. And then we draw two more arcs on the sides, but this time we curve them up just a little bit more, about 1/4 of the upper rectangle. Let's keep going. Add two more arcs on the left and three more on the right side. Just make sure that they are going kinda up in a diagonal. And now for the finishing touch, draw a circle on top. That's our cherry. Only thing left to do is to add the little stem to the cherry, and that's the base construction for our cupcake done. Now let's add some finishing touches. Add two squiggly lines in the middle. Add some toppings. I chose chocolate beans here. Now let's sketch out where the face will go. And I will talk about the specifics of the face later a little bit more when we talk about the outlines, because that is a great thing where you can customize your own drawing. And that's our base drawing done. So let's get to the next step. For our outlines, we grab our fine liner. I'm gonna speed up this bit because basically you're only tracing the lines that you've drawn before. For nice, smooth lines, try to move your pen in a steady and fluid motion. If you're feeling unsure, you can always practice drawing a few arcs on a separate piece of paper before going over to your final sketch. Also, now it's time to add some more details, like the end of the stem of the cherry and some extensions of the arcs. At the very end, we're also gonna make the outer lines a little bit thicker with our marker, so the drawing really pops. But we're not gonna do that until the whole piece is colored, so we don't get any smudges. Now, as we're drawing the face here, I promised you to show you some more faces to make this cupcake really your own. For today, I've chosen a pouting, a curious, a mouth-watering, and a happy expression. I'm gonna show more of those details in each one of my upcoming tutorials. So, it's best if you subscribe and don't miss any of them. The first color that I add is a nice bright yellow on the top left. That's where the light is coming from. Those are called the highlights. Now I've made a little mistake here and forgot to erase the pencil lines. So let's do a little bit of editing magic. That's better. You should always do that before your coloring process. Now let me speed up this part a little bit and just show you the most important parts. After adding the highlights, we fill in the main areas with a nice flat color. And we do that for all the little details like the toppings, the cherry on top, and those wavy lines in the middle. After we're done with that, we start adding the shadow areas. That can be done by either layering the same color over one another, by adding a slightly darker tone, or with a gray color. And as you can imagine, the shadows are on the opposite side of the highlights, so they're on the bottom and on the right side. Now here you saw me filling in the eyes before I add some more shadows. And that's all the layering done. All that's left to do now is to draw the outline. And as you can see, this really makes the drawing pop. And there we have it. That's our drawing complete. And there we have it. Our delicious, adorable cupcake is complete. I hope you had as much fun drawing this as I did guiding you through it. Remember, every drawing is unique, so don't worry if yours looks a little different. That's what makes it special. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more fun art lessons. And if you tried this drawing yourself, I'd love to see it, so feel free to share it with me. Until next time, keep practicing, keep creating, and most importantly, keep having fun with your art. This is Nessbert, your friendly lake monster art guide, signing off. See you in the next episode of Nessbert Draws. Bye!